Hello guys, Janpha Thadphoothon. What I'm doing here is um, talking more about the figure of speech. This is from the chapter, I think it's chapter 4 or chapter 5. Um, so we're going to look at the figurative language, okay, or what we call beyond the literal signification. The figurative language is like the poetic language or the trope or the language that you need to figure it out in order to understand. An obvious example, if you can look at the screen, is the use of a metaphor. Okay, a metaphor is a comparison of A and B. A is B. Okay, this is side A is equal to side B. For example, Thailand is equal to smiles, the length of smiles. So this is an example. You need to figure it out in order to understand. And I will skip this. So what we are doing is comparing things with other things, ideas, things with idea. For example, uh, you are in your spring of life because you are young and energetic, you are in your spring of life. Okay, so we are talking about the use of size, comparing size uh, and other size actually. And for example, the word to bite the bullet, this is an idiom in English. To bite the bullet, it simply means to to endure hardship, you know, to to cope with the uncertainties and suffering, for example. And there are various types of figurative language. Okay, the metaphor, simile, metaphor, metonym, synecdoche, and irony. Can you see this? I would like to enlarge this for you. Yeah, metaphor and simile. Oh, metonym. Uh, okay, let me show you on the next screen. Okay, here we have the uh, yeah, enlarge this for you. So the metaphor and the simile, the metonym, synecdoche. This is the pronunciation synecdoche and irony. Irony is the opposite of what you are saying. For example, uh, if the traffic this morning, in Bangkok was very bad because of the rain, and when someone asks you, "Oh, how was the traffic?" Fantastic. You say, your answer is fantastic. Fantastic is the opposite of something very bad, but you are using in an ironic manner. So an irony is the use of size with opposite in meaning to create some effect, maybe to be sarcastic, you know. An example of an irony is when you want to be sarcastic. Understatement, you somebody had a bad accident, and when he was asked and he answered it, oh, it's just a scratch or something. So this is what we mean by irony. We'll go to simile first of all. This is a metaphor. Uh, a metaphor is a comparison of something uh, resembles in many aspects. One signifier is associated to another either iconic or symbolic relationship, but the two signifiers are unrelated. Let me repeat. You see here, one signifier, like signifier A, is associated or transferred to another signifier, like she is a tiger. She is one signifier associated with one quality. Maybe she's powerful, she's fierce, she's strong. You can say she is a tiger. As you can see, the two signifiers, the woman and the tiger, are unrelated, but you actually compare the two signifiers in terms of the qualities. This is another example, a metaphor. Okay, someone is stabbed in the back. He was stabbed in the back, for example. So this is the formula: A equal B. This is what we call the association by substitution. You substitute A with B. A is B. Okay. Uh, Now we move on to the use of what we call visual metaphor. This is I talk about this in the classroom because you can look at the uh, pictures here. Uh, Hang on, let me finish with this. Sorry. Uh, Now look at the uh, ขอโทษทีครูบันทึกเสียงอยู่เดี๋ยวจะค่อยโทรมาใหม่ได้ไหมฮัลโหลไม่เป็นไรโอเคแค่นี้นะเดี๋ยวครูบันทึกเสียงอยู่ครูอัดวิดีโออยู่โทษที Sorry about that. I let's continue. We are looking at the visual metaphors. Yeah, look at this particular ad. You can see one signifier. This is James Bond, and this is a watch. This is from the book, by the way. You can see that James Bond's or Omega. This is a watch. This watch is like James Bond in terms of accuracy and being cool. So this is very important. And yeah, this is another example of met- metaphor metaphorical associations. Yeah, if you want to be cool, I don't want to talk about this. This is a cigarette ad. And this is another example: the use of a bullet train and a microchip or CPU or microprocessor is about the technology and the speed of the CPU. So, so that was about the metaphor. Okay. Now let's move on to a metonym. Metonym is about the substitution of an aspect or concept of a thing for the whole thing. That thing has to be associated with that other things, like you use the White House as a metonym for the U.S. government, for example. Okay, the White House as the metonym, or if you say Beijing, you means China, or Bangkok, Thailand, or the use of metonym is the use of two signifiers related. It's like an indexical. Uh, and ever at a you know a yeah, it's more or less an index of another side. Okay, like Bangkok represents Thailand. You use the word Bangkok when you talk about Thailand, for example. This is what we call a metonym. Okay. Uh, yeah, as you can see, that's as I just mentioned, is about the indexical relationship between A and B. Okay, right. So moving on to the next one. This is Synecdoche. Synecdoche refers to the use of part for the whole or whole for the part, two signifiers. Part for the whole, for example, two heads are better than one. The head is the part of the body, okay? And the whole for the part like Spain beat Germany. You're talking about a soccer team, not the whole country. So this is what we mean by Synecdoche, right? Okay, and we also have some irony. Irony and intertextuality, it can be visual. This is an irony, you see. Uh, you see that this person has no teeth, so uh, he or she cannot be a presenter for a a brand of toothpaste, for example, as you can see. So irony is pretty complex. The complex use of signifiers. So in order to understand irony, you have to understand other sides, the situation that you are in. As I just mentioned earlier, that um, you, I'm having my morning coffee. You kind of uh, have to. You mean one thing, but you do not say what you mean and mean what you say. You do not say what you mean and mean what you say. You pray with the words. It's about praying with the sign signifier, kind of easing the situation, or you are um, easing the situation, or you are you know making fun of something, or being sarcastic, right? How's the weather today? Oh, fantastic. In fact, it's raining all day, fantastic. You will say something the opposite of what you mean. This is what you mean by irony. So I don't want to, you can have a look again. Uh, these are some verbal irony. What is it in Thai? You say, a bald man gets a comb. This is another irony. This is situational irony. A bald man gets a comb. You this is very funny. So, just to wrap up, we've been talking about the use of figurative language. We've been looking at the use of similes and metaphor, metonym, and synecdoche, and irony. So we're talking about five things. Simile is the use of expression like as or like. You know, uh, he uh, she is as strong as an elephant or something like that. You can This is a simile, or you can say he is a lion. He is very powerful. Um, and metonym is the use of the part of the whole, and that part indicates the another side. For example, Beijing indicates it's part of China, and you use Beijing to represent the Chinese government, for example. And the Synecdoche is the relationship between a part and whole, a whole and part. Spain beat England. Is it the whole for the part? Or you can use two heads are better than one. Heads is the part of the body. And irony is when you do not say what you mean and mean what you say. Sometimes you use it to be sarcastic. Okay. You say you know how was your day? Fantastic, fantastic. You the opposite is the case actually, and you can be some kind of you can use an understatement. Uh, you had a bad accident, and you almost get killed. Uh, but you say that, oh, it's just a scratch. This is understatement or overstatement in poetry, like I will do everything for you. This is overstatement. I will travel to the end of the world just to find you. I could eat a horse, for example. So just remember five types of figurative language: simile, metaphor, metonym, synecdoche, and irony. You should be fine. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave your question below this.